Honorable guests, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you all. I am Sheikh Yusuf, and on behalf of the organizing committee and SZABIST, I welcome you to the National Research Conference on Management and Business. Let us begin with the Qiraat.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو العصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
The Beneficent hath made known the Qur'an. He hath created man. He hath taught him utterance. The sun and the moon are made punctual. The stars and the trees adore. And the sky he hath uplifted. And he hath set the measure, that ye exceed not the measure, but observe the measure strictly, nor fall short thereof. And the earth hath he appointed for his creatures, wherein are fruit and sheathed palm trees, husked grain and scented herb. Which is it of the favors of your Lord that ye deny?
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite on stage our dignitaries and committee members for the evening. May I please invite on stage Dr. Faizullah Abbasi, Vice Chairman of Dawood University of Engineering Technology. Mr. Ehtasham Ali Raja, Director, HEC. Madam Nasreen Haq, Vice President, Admin and Finance, SZABIST. Professor Dr. Altaf Mokati, Vice President, Academics, SZABIST. And Professor Dr. Nadeem Syed. Professor William Ralph, a famous English author, said, and I quote, "The aim of education is the knowledge not of fact, but of values," unquote. It is in the hopes of bridging this gap between theoretical and practical education that we have gathered here today. NRCMB is a consortium meant to enhance the broad dimensions of management and business, bringing together scholars, practitioners, and research students to explore and expand their understanding. The conference aims to provide a medium to discuss the revolutionary ideas on contemporary practices and challenges for the macroeconomic environment of Pakistan, as well as incorporating the insights from the global economy. We would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our sponsors, speakers, the managing committee, and other members without whom this conference would not have been possible. The sponsors for today are Faria Enterprises, PNSC, Meet One, Gasco, and Seed. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to now invite our honored conference chair, Dr. Nadeem Syed, on stage to share his reflections with us. Dr. Nadeem Syed is the head of Department of Management Science and the program manager of MS and PhD programs at Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto Institute of Science and Technology. He has his doctorate in business administration, a degree which he got from a reputed university in the Philippines. He has a vast administrative and academic experience of working in different higher education institutes of national repute. He served at Bahria University, Karachi as the head of department for 7 years and streamlined various systems and processes in its inception phase. Later, he moved to FAST University and served as the head of department for the newly developed business school. After that, he joined SZABIST and is serving as the head of department for the largest body of SZABIST. Ladies and gentlemen, Please welcome Dr. Nadeem Syed.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our chief guest, Dr. Faidullah Abbasi Saab, the Vice Chairman, Daud University of Engineering. Madam Nasreen Abbasi, the Vice President, Admin and Finance, SZABIST. Dr. Altaf Mukati Saab, the Vice President, Academics, and the Dean for Engineering and Mechatronics. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. To begin with, I'm extremely thankful for our chief guest to be with us. And normally it's a tradition saying that thank you for coming at the very short notice. But this short notice has been practically very, very short notice. So we really thank you for Dr. Saab for being with us. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome all of you to this unique gathering, which brings together representatives from academia, corporate and social sector as the most timely topic of common interest, that is the National Research Conference of Management and Business with the theme of sharing solutions. This consortium is a platform for enhancing the broad dimensions of management and business through different corporate and technical sessions that comprise of impassioned arguments, extraordinary success and failure stories, along with the expertise of renowned individuals in the corporate business world. In this conference, 3 corporate sessions on entrepreneurship, financial institutions, and corporate sustainability are included to engage both business and academic world in a healthy discussion to way forward for a strong and meaningful partnership. The technical conference papers based on around 80 research papers divided into traditional themes of marketing, finance, human resource management, human behavior. These technical sessions will promote indigenous research and strengthen the bonding of academic world and provide the opportunity to both nascent and expert researchers to meet each other for the collaboration and cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sure this conference will help us, every individual of us, to get an insight and gain experience on contemporary issues, practices, challenges, and opportunities for the macroeconomic outlook of Pakistan, and insight from integrated global economy, which no one would miss to attend. Over the next few hours, we have the opportunity, and indeed the responsibility, to prepare the standard-setting world for both the issues and practices in management and business. I am honored that SZABIST can offer such an appropriate venue for this gathering. I would like to thank the President, SZABIST, Ms. Shahnaz Wazir Ali, Vice President, Academics, Dr. Altaf Mukati, Vice President, Administration and Finance, Ms. Nasreen Haq, and again, especially to Ms. Nasreen Haq, because she went out of the way to help us in this conference for us to make sure that we'll actually be able to hold it. So thank you very much, ma'am. So I must thank all of them for their unconditional support and vision for this conference. I am grateful to the management science faculty, especially Dr. Zaki Rashdi Saab. And just to name a few more, with the short of time I have, Dr. Javed, Dr. Isran, Ms. Hina Mobeen, Mr. Muhammad Ali Jangda Saab, Imran Amin Saab, Aisha is looking here also, Aisha, Ms. Subika, Ms. Sara Kazi, Mr. Kumail, Mr. Fahad, and many more that I should have mentioned. I would also like to thank the organizing team and the student volunteers. Mr. Yasir Merchant, thank you very much, Mr. Yasir Merchant, and Mr. Ubaid Ahmed, I think they have not slept for last 3 nights. Neither they have let me sleep. So Mr. Yasir Merchant and Mr. Ubaid, thank you so much. Ms. Sidra Khan, Mr. Naullah Munir Saab, all of you, thank you very much for your cooperation and hard work. At the end, I must thank our corporate partners and academicians, presenters, and participants for attending this conference and making it a success. I wish you all a successful meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Syed. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to request Mr. Ehtisham Ali Raja, Director, NBAC, to say a few words. Mr. Ehtisham Ali Raja is the Director of National Business Education Accreditation Council, NBAC, in the Higher Education Commission.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dr. Altaf Makati, the Vice Chairman Academics, Ms. Seema Haq, and Dr. Faizullah Abbasi, and Dr. Nadeem. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I'm humbled to be here at this conference, which is one of the first initiatives by SZABIST to organize a management and business conference. National Business Education Accreditation Council was established by Higher Education Commission in year 2007 with a mission to enhance the quality of business education in the country. So far, there are 170 plus universities in Pakistan, and out of those, 140 are offering the business education. So it's a big number, and it's in the purview of the National Business Education Accreditation Council to enhance the quality of those institutions and look at the management sciences programs, public administration, and commerce-related degree programs. The role of NBAC, we have 9 key standards, starting with strategic management, curriculum, faculty, resources. We have R&D, academia, and industrial linkages. So it is very important. One of our key areas of the Business Council is to link the industry with academia, and that is through the corporate partnerships, because we need to encourage our business schools and institutions to for their faculty to go out for consultancy-based projects and have academia as well as the industry linkages. We need to establish business incubation centers. When our team of experts go for the accreditation visits of program accreditation, we have 3 subject experts as well as an industry expert. And the idea is to bridge that gap and bring them close on one platform. So National Business Education Accreditation Council is a platform. We organize Deans and Directors Conference on annual basis. Our next conference is in Lahore at PC in February 17th, 18th. And the idea is to invite all leading industry there and academia, deans and directors of the business schools, so that they can talk in the same language. So in the end, I would thank the organizer of the conference, Dr. Nadeem and Dr. Zakir Ashti, and all the organizers for organizing such a esteemed conference, and we hope you all success. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the next personality that I would like to invite is the Vice Chancellor of Dawood University of Engineering and Technology. He has 28 years of academic and research experience. He started his career in 1975 as a lecturer in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Sindh University. which is now known as Mehran University of Engineering and Technology. He has a Master of Science in Industrial Engineering from University of Strathclyde, Glasgow, and a Doctorate of Philosophy in Metallurgical Engineering from Sheffield University, United Kingdom. He also has 15 years of industrial experience, where he has worked in the top management positions in the private and public sectors in Pakistan, the United States of America, and the United Arab Emirates. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our chief guest for today, Dr. Faizullah Abbasi, as he approaches the rostrum to address the conference.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Professor Dr. Mukati, Dr. Nadeem, Madam Nasreen, Ehtisham Saab, the faculty of SZABIST, and very dear students, and ladies and gentlemen. I was invited really, as Dr. Nadeem said, at the very last minute, and when I was working away, trying to do what we call RFF syndrome in Dawood. And this is a new concept, or I don't know, a new word that has been coined. And RFF you can find everywhere, even in SZABIST. And RFF means routine and firefighting. And that's what we do when we get in. It's all routine and firefighting. And that is what I was doing when I got an email saying that you are invited to be the chief guest. So I forgot about the firefighting at least, but came back and saw that I had to respond. So I gave a response that I'll be there. Having said that, coming here and looking at this crowd, I'm very impressed. And also at the same time, I'm very honored and humbled at the same time. But I come as head of one of the most underdeveloped, underprivileged, undernourished, an extremely troublesome university called Dawood University of Engineering and Technology, and I have been invited by one of the finest institutions in Karachi, which is SZABIST. I only got courage when I saw Dr. Mukati, because he told me that he's also one of the graduates of Dawood University when it was a college. So I said, I'm in safe hands. Dr. Saab, it's always a pleasure to meet you. I met him once in our convocation. I met him since then. And I have some courage to speak. Now, here's the conference, about the conference. And just relax, because I don't know where I'm going to begin. How am I going to start? Because I have nothing in hand I didn't know how to write. So I just said, let me share some of my management experiences with you guys. And maybe that will become relevant to the conference, if ever. Here's let me see, where do I begin? Let's begin from the couple of transitions that happened in my life. One was when I was a student, obviously like you guys. No issues, it's always fun to be a student. Ask me now, and when I reflect back, I say, what a life that was. I mean, now I'm at the twilight of my career. But student life is the best life you can ever enjoy, ever in your life. So you are in that prime stage. So the transition occurred when I graduated, and I got my first job as a lecturer. That was my first transition. That is a little, I would say, it has its own complexities. But the student mindset is a little different than a professional mindset when you become a professional. But it's not difficult. You can settle down like I did. The first job I had a fight with my principal. On the very second day, obviously I was a student, hot-blooded student, and he said that your salary is going to be this. I said, no, you promised it was that. And then we had a row, and he said, get out from my office. And I said, all right, so I resigned. And hence, from then onwards, my professional life began. And I saw what professional life is. You don't have to be a student. You don't have to be hot-blooded. You have to adjust to the new environment. That's the first transition. The second transition occurred when I went abroad. to do my master's and then subsequently my PhD, because I studied all the time in Pakistan. So there was a big gap. It is not as much now. You're very privileged. You guys are, if you go abroad, you won't find much difference that what you studied here. It'll be an extension of what you did. At our times, we never studied. Well, I was one of the serious students. All right, there were a few lectures here, a few lectures there. At the end of 4 years of my graduation, we sat together and said, what have we learned in 4 years? And the best answer was that we know what are the subjects and we know what books we can refer to in those subjects. That's all we knew. So when we went abroad, wow, that was a shock. And it was a program of management, which I call industrial engineering. It was actually production management. And we were working like from, I would say, 6 o'clock in the morning, when I used to get up, do all my assignments which were left over from last night, then get into my breakfast, start running all the way to the university, where there was rigorous classes, practicals, and then there were these short loan libraries where we would go and book our books that we wanted to get. And at 5 o'clock, when everything ended, there's a lot of echo here. Everything ended, take the book, go back to the hall of residence, eat our dinner, and then go to a commercial library which was close by, and I would work there till 9 o'clock, till the library closes. From 9, come back, study again. Now what that did, it was day in, day out. The only break I used to take was on a Sunday. Wow. And that break was, there were 2 Indian movies that used to run in Glasgow, from 3 o'clock till 9 o'clock. That was the only relaxation or luxury that I used to have. And we would watch both the movies in one ticket. And, when sometimes, because of the pressure of the work and so much engrossed in it, I would see Amitabh Bachchan or Manoj Kumar dancing away, and I would say that, don't they have any problems like I have? Look at it, tomorrow I'm going to get back to work, and boy, look at them. So it was so irrelevant, but I was trying to absorb that and the things that were in my back of my head. But see, what it did was, it developed into me a culture of work. Day in, day out, for how many years? 2 years in management, and then subsequently a much relaxed 3 years of PhD. Relaxed means research is a little slow-paced. But it imbued that culture in me, and it goes on till today. I cannot live without work. And I hope that you guys are doing the same. I'm sure that SZABIST programs are so rigorous that you have to be working at least 12 hours a day, if not more. At least, only then you will become a successful professional. Because in lumps, somebody was telling me that the libraries are open 24/7, and the students have assignments, they work, and they are the most sought after graduates when they come out of lumps. Same is with SZABIST, I tell you, and I'm sure there's something that is right in SZABIST that's happening. It's amazing. I'm telling you, you've got a reputation that we know that SZABIST is right there. Now, having said that, coming back to what I'm going to structure my experiences on management and human resources. I'm a people's man to begin with. I relate very well to, if I was on a job floor, on a shop floor, I would very well relate to my workers. Absolutely. Excellent communication, as I could see, because I would develop that communication because in each job that I did, there were different jargons, different languages, different lingos that we used to speak. But that HR thing is in me. And that's how, when I went to Dawood University, I have been there for 2 years and 8 months. The average life of a head of the institution in Dawood, when it was a college, I found out from all the predecessors that I have, was about 11 months. And some stayed for 13 months, some stayed for 8 months. There was one who only stayed for 3 months. And when I became the Vice Chancellor in 2013, I came to know that one of the principals was shot dead, and the second one mysteriously fell from the roof and died. And third was me who entered. So that is the background that I came to. So after 2.5 years, I met a guy in intelligence, the agencies. Nice guy, very nice to talk to. So I asked him, hey, you are from the agencies. How do you see me? How am I performing? I mean, maybe they know. So I wanted to have a feedback. So he said, how long have you been there? I said, 2.5 years. He said, you are successful because you've been there for 2.5 years. If that is the measure of success, then I think that I've done a great job. But that is not exactly what I have been doing there. The day I entered Dawood, I tell you, oh my God, hell broke loose. There was fighting between two groups. And in came my advisors, who I call the mafia. They came, sir, bada phada hai, bada tension hai. मैंने बोला, अरे क्या होने वाला है? बोला, झगड़ा होने वाला है. I said, all right, होने दो, देखते हैं. सारा दिन I was in stress. They kept me in tension. झगड़ा होने वाला है, झगड़ा हुआ नहीं. And what happened was, we have those point buses flying, no? So next day when I came, they told me, sir, झगड़ा हो गया point buses में. Oh, I said, चलो यार, बाहर हुआ ना, अंदर तो नहीं हुआ. कोई बात नहीं, बाहर हुआ, we'll handle it. The moment they know कि ये कह रहा है कि अंदर नहीं हुआ, believe me, within an hour, there was a fight inside also. So whenever you join a new organization, try to understand one thing, there's a mafia which is there. And they will be completely gauging you up, they'll be sizing you up, and try to see how can we destabilize him. And I would not like to quote that example because it's very personal, but I kept on hearing them and I kept my channels open. Because one of the things that I had learned, and this is a beautiful concept, and it was a book called In Search of Excellence. I'm sure you must have come across that book. And it was beautiful. It was a survey of hundreds of Fortune 500 industries. But one of the things I got from there is a term called management by walking around. Very famous term. I tell you, it's a great term. It's a great thing. And what I used to do as a Vice Chancellor, I used to go around, walk around, talk to my students, and talk to my faculty, even talk to my sweepers. Hey, what's going on? I was new. And I got a lot of feel as, how does it feel? So when this clash took place in the university, I called my student advisor and I said, who are these guys who fought? We don't know. How can you don't know? I mean, we know that there was a Jamiyat and then there was probably Punjabi students, they fought. All right. So I said, all right, let everybody go home. Let me get the information from the controller's office with pictures and everything, all the forms. I made 2 of them sit. I said, okay, identify the boys you think are the troublemakers. And we got 82 names with the departments and their affiliations and all that. I said, okay, and this 82, tell me, who are the AAAs? AAAs means the ones who are the leaders. And so we identified 11. So there were 11 AAAs. I said, okay, who are the AAs? AAAs are the second line that they have, and the first line is not there, then the second line comes in force. So there were another 18 18 AAs. So in all, 30 students were the real troublemakers. Then I said, okay, what about the rest? They said the rest are like, वो जो होते हैं ना baratis, जो पीछे तालियां वाले बजाते हैं. So I said, all right, so these are B's and C's categories, okay? So I took that information, put it on an Excel spreadsheet, and I said, okay, let me find the AAAs in Jamiyat, because it's a Jamiyat and the Punjabis who fought. And when I filtered it for the AAAs in Jamiyat, they were all in electronics department. I said, wow. And then I said, all right, let me find the Punjabis, AAAs. They were all in the chemical engineering department, no exceptions. I mean, there was no mismatch or somebody was there, somebody was there. So the next day when I get to my office, I call both the chairpersons. And this is my third day, by the way. So I tell them, look, what are you trying to prove? I said, sir, nothing. I said, you think it's Jamiyat versus the Punjabis? He said, yes. I said, no. It is electronics versus the chemical. So from tomorrow, if I see that, I'm going to fix you guys. And believe me, after that, it never happened. So, I mean, you have to improvise. That's one thing that I want to say. Now, coming back to the RFF syndrome, let me tell you what it is. And I'm sure, please think about it when you go back into your university and when you go back home. It's something very interesting. And I always have been telling my administration there and the teachers that, look, we are falling into the RFF syndrome. When an RFF syndrome is prevalent, predominant, that organization stagnates. It will never move. You think you work, and you do work, but all you do is routine and firefighting. There's nothing new. So what I have done in Daud is this. Do the RFF. It's very important. Yes, we can't live without RFF. But can you give me one new idea a day? Just one. Let's do this. Think about it. How much RFF SZABIST does and how much new concepts that you develop every day, in a week, in a month, in a quarter, in a year. When you see that there's enough new ideas coming out of your organization, that is a dynamic organization. That will definitely have the potential to grow. It will change. That's the only constant I can see in this world, that we need to change. You know, there were times when they would say, कि ज़्यादा jobs मत करो, एक ही job पे लगे रहो. Oops, something happened to the, I hope it's not time controlled. They are telling me that. Now, come on. Sorry, do I have time to say a little bit more? I hope it's interesting for you guys. See, here's the thing. They used to say, कि एक ही job करो. Or I would see my grandfather was in PWD and he remained in PWD for the rest of his life till he retired. Somebody joined as a doctor in the health department and he went on and on and on till he retired. This is a very traditional way of thinking. These days, I tell you, I mean, that's what I have seen, and I think it was Tom Peters who even wrote that your CV should have a very diversified kind of experience. If you stick to a job for too long, they say he is no good, he is not creative. So you should be changing every 2 to 3 years. If you have something on your CV that I was here for 2 years, and then I was here for another 2 years, that counts. Now, in our days, they used to say, Rolling Stone never gather masses, or mass, or I don't know what is it. So, I mean, if you start rolling like such, you are no good. But these days, yes, it is you who have to roll. You have to diversify your experiences and be very creative here. That's the whole idea. Whether it is in human resources, whether it is in finance, whether it is in any other management thing, it is creativity that counts. And when you see a screen, you say, oh, this is all right, this is a balance sheet, so you will start working on a balance sheet. Can you think of something else that you can bring out of the balance sheet? Maybe some good ratios that you can see and then say, yeah, well, let's try this ratio and see what happens. Something new has to come out. Let me tell you a very good example of an inventor of the hologram, the holography. And this was a professor of Rolls-Royce who told us the story, who used to teach us. And he said that there's something called shaving mirror syndrome. Now, Gabor was the guy who invented holography. And he said, how did he get that idea of three-dimensional photography? You know, this is what holography is all about. He said it was a very cold winter morning and he went in to shave. And in those days, you know, there was a mirror in front of him, and obviously these days also, but sometimes there were three-dimensional mirrors also. So he used to turn around every time and shave. And he had an idea, and it was pretty agonizing in a cold winter with a cold wherever he was shaving was a very cold room. He said, what if I was standing like this and I can see all this side also without moving? And hence he got an idea. And he developed that whole concept of holography. So he calls it the shaving mirror syndrome. And to extend this argument a little bit more, that is the time when you are most creative. You wake up in the morning, your mind has defragged, as they call it. I mean, all the now you have a space in the morning. So when you wake up in the morning, try to think what is new. If you can do something else, something new, that's the best time, and that's what I do every single day. Today as I speak, I also thought in the morning while I was shaving, what am I going to talk about? And believe me, the only thing I said, why shouldn't I share my experiences? What else? There's nothing else to talk about. So, I mean, this is how, see, look, one other experience I tell you, I should be now winding up because I'll be boring you to death. I'm a great storyteller, I can give you lots of stories of my life. See, I was a professor at Mehran and a chairperson of a department, and one day, a student of mine who had done his industrial engineering and he had topped the faculty, very bright, smart kid. He came to me in his Nissan Patrol. This was 92 or I think 1992. A big, huge vehicle, and a beautiful vehicle. So I said, hey, what are you up to? Because you just graduated. How did you get this? Are you into export and import or something like that? He said, no, sir, we are setting up a sugar mill. Oh, really? I said, so what brings you here? He said, my uncle has called you. I said, who's your uncle? He said, he's a great investor and stock. He's a big man in stocks, now a banker also. So I said, all right. So I've stepped into the big vehicle. As a teacher, I used to have a Suzuki FX, by the way. So I sat into it. I said, what a luxurious car this is. So we went to Karachi. I went to his uncle and he said, look, we are setting up a sugar mill. And we have appointed my nephew the managing director. I said, good for you. And said, then what can I do for you? I said, we want you to be his deputy managing director. As a professor. So I said, look, either you have gone loco or you have got too much money to spend. Look at the combination you are giving me. He's my student, graduated 2 months ago. And then I'm a professor, I don't know nothing about, I've never seen a sugar mill in my life. How can we set it up? He said, I know you guys can. Go and see a sugar mill. So off we go and we see the Matiari sugar mill. Huge, oh my God. I mean, as a professor, first time, there were pumps running and, the process houses, vibrating, the boilers fizzling away. And I said, my God, will I be able to do this? All right, so what I did was I took a sabbatical from my university. Went on leave and joined the head office in Karachi. There were too many dacoits in those days, so movements were very restricted. We couldn't go to the remote area of Mirpur Khas every day. So every week, once a week, it was Friday, I think Friday was an off day. Friday, we हम सब चढ़ के उसमें बड़ी निसान पेट्रोल में with a police escort we would drive to Mirpur Khas. And the whole site was mobilized like hell. I mean, everything was happening. The civil works, the foundations were being dug. So, all right, so I used to just keep quiet because I was a professor, I knew nothing about what was going on. So I would just watch. And the assignment I was given, and I would give you the difference between the tools that you have in management and the real practice. The assignment I was given is to develop a PERT chart of the project. PERT and the CPM, you know how romantic that is, PERT. So I did manage in 2 months to develop that PERT and CPM, huge. And it took me a lot of brain work to do that. So I did that, but damn, I thought that was very static. But there are thousands and thousands of activities that were on that PERT chart, the civil works, the manufacturing, the shipments, and the commissioning of the whole thing. So there were thousands. Now, the project was very dynamic. I was the only PERT guy in the system. So how could I update whatever was happening? So I was really stuck. And I thought, this is no good, I'll have to go back to my university before it is embarrassing for me and they throw me out. So every week when we used to go, I used to just sit there and see. What I saw, and this is very important for all managers, you have to decipher the pattern changes in your mind. Because I remember is where somewhere I read there is a right lobe and a left lobe. One lobe is good in numbers, the other is good in patterns. So be very good at pattern changes. So what I saw was, although the site was so mobilized every Friday, but nothing seemed to have happened. I mean, वही गड़ा जो है मैं देख के आया था last week, उसी गड़े पे काम हो रहा है. So I thought that what they do is because the Seth are coming, the MD is coming and they are coming, they only mobilize for that day. The rest of the 6 days nobody is working because there is no direct supervision there. We were all in Karachi. So the decision of my lifetime as a professor, I said, forget about the PERT chart, I am getting in there. So I moved to the site and everything started happening after that because I had nothing else to do. All I would do is just move around management by walking around, learning what is this, what is that, when will you finish this, when will you finish that. And tell you what, we commissioned the whole mill as a team in 11 months. The whole thing, whole shebang, from groundbreaking to the trials. And look who did it. Who did it? It was a professor and his team, obviously, but professor. Now that is the change that I had to bring in my life. And after that, I never looked back. I went on and on and on. So be different every single day. Be different. Try to change. Don't get into the status quo. You have to go to the next status quo and the next status quo and the next status quo and try to reach there. Every week, ask yourself, what have you learned new? What have you done? Does it justify your existence? Have you done something new? If not, that puts a lot of pressure. And I do it to me every day. Did I do something new? No. All right. No, doesn't matter. There are dormant days. Second day, did I do something new? No. Oh gosh. After a week, pressure comes on to me. Come on, man, back up. Do something new. And hence what you will see on the 8th day, you will find out some way to bring something new. So start asking yourself. And I can go on, but I'm sorry, I would have to take a break now. But I would love to say something here, that if SZABIST would like to invite me on any time to speak, I will definitely come and share my experiences with you. And let us make it vice versa. Because I would like Mukati Sahab, who's my alumnus, and he already volunteered, that, sir, why did you call me there? Yes, sir, you're very welcome. And anybody from SZABIST. Let's make it a joint kind of a thing, SZABIST and Daud. Although Daud is the poorest and SZABIST is the richest. So maybe we can take our levels up a little bit with your help, you know. But we are a very buzzing university, trust me. I've spent 2 years and 8 months there, and I've got 1 year and 4 months left. And I don't intend to continue more than that. And in that 1 year, I've given myself a target. I'm going to change the whole infrastructure, the facade, the insides, the outsides, everything. So you might ask me, what the hell were you doing for 2 years and 8 months? Why now? Now, what I did in 2 years and 8 months was so profound. I brought stability in the system. That was very important. Daud has by far stabilized. Touch wood. Today there's a function going on. I hope nothing goes wrong. But touch wood, it has stabilized. And that is what I wanted. Now that it is stabilized, I'm on fire. I'm going to change the damn thing before I leave. Thank you very much, students. Thank you very much, sir, for inviting me. It was such a fun. What a hug, what a reception. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abbasi, for sharing such interesting and thoughtful experiences. We are definitely inspired to break the status quo and change things around us. And we would indeed be honored to have you speak with us at SZABIST. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to now invite Professor Dr. Altaf Mokati, the Vice President, Academics and Dean, Computing and Engineering Sciences at SZABIST. He earned his BE Electronic Engineering in 1980 and MS Computer Engineering from Boston University, United States of America in 1987. He has a split PhD in Computer Engineering from United States of America and Pakistan. Dr. Mokati spent 17 years at Suparco, which is Pakistan's space agency, and worked on national projects such as sounding rockets and the Badr-B satellite. He worked for 8 years at Hamdard University as the head of department, 5 years as professor and dean engineering sciences at Bahria University, and then joined SZABIST in September 2013. Dr. Mokati has authored 4 books and 22 research papers. He received a gold medal from South Asia Publications for one of his books published by the Higher Education Commission, Pakistan in 2007. He received the Best University Teacher Award 2010 by HEC and has been a member of several national and international committees and a member and expert at the Pakistan Engineering Council. We are proud to have him here at SZABIST. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mokati, please welcome him.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very good morning to everyone present here. I have a written speech in front of me, but before that, I would like to thank the Vice Chancellor, Dawood University, for giving such a kind words for me. And certainly, I am a product of Dawood College at that time, so I'm proud to be a Dawoodians. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope today's National Research Conference, organized by the Department of Management Sciences, SZABIST Karachi campus, would be beneficial to all participants. The department was doing preparations for the last several months and have received a number of good research papers, which I believe would be presented in different parallel sessions today. I have been told that around 80 research papers would be presented in different parallel sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, the digital age has made the world smaller, faster, more interactive, and increasingly mobile. The ICT revolution in early 90s has completely changed the dynamics of education. In view of the fact that information technology, which was primarily meant for communication only, became the media of conversation and consultation, due to which boundaries between various disciplines began to disappear, resulting in multidisciplinary and cross-disciplinary learnings. This ultimately became the necessity in order to resolve increasing complex problems. The theme of the conference, Sharing Solutions, is a step in this direction. On behalf of SZABIST and its president, Madam Shahnaz Wazir Ali, I deem it a great honor and privilege to stand before you to deliver the vote of thanks. I am thankful to the chief guest, Professor Dr. Faizullah Abbasi, Vice Chancellor, Dawood University of Engineering and Technology, for gracing the occasion and for sharing his thoughts with the participants. Thanks to Madam Nasreen ul Haq, Vice President, Administration and Finance, SZABIST. Thanks to Mr. Ehtesham A. Raja, Director, NBAC. And thanks to all other valuable guests, research students, and speakers. Many thanks to the conference organizers, especially to Dr. Nadeem Sayyed, Head of Department, and Dr. Zaki Rashidi, and all other faculty members of the Department of Management Sciences. Last but not the least, I would like to extend my acknowledgement and thanks to all sponsors for their valuable support to successfully organize this event. Thank you once again to all of you for being with us this morning. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Dr. McCarthy, for your speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. McCarthy, now I would like to request you to please approach the front of the stage to present a token of appreciation to our honorable chief guest, Dr. Faizullah Abbasi, and also to Mr. Ehtisham Ali Raja. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause as Dr. Faizullah Abbasi receives his token of appreciation. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Ehtisham Ali Raja as he collects his token of appreciation. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. McCarthy. May I now call upon Dr. Faizullah Abbasi to present a token of appreciation to our committee members. Our committee members are also requested to approach the front of the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Nasreen Haq, you are requested to approach the stage and approach the front of the stage and collect your token of appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vice President Administration and HR SZABIST, Madam Nasreen Haq, as she collects her token of appreciation from Dr. Faizullah Abbasi. Thank you, Madam. Next, we would like to request Dr. Altaf McCarthy, Vice President, Academics SZABIST, to please collect his token of appreciation from Dr. Faizullah Abbasi. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Altaf McCarthy. Thank you, sir. Next, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Nadeem Syed, the Conference Chair of NRCMB. Thank you, sir. Now, I would finally like to invite Professor Dr. Mohammad Zaki Rashidi, Conference Co-Chair, NRCMB, to come and collect his token of appreciation from Dr. Faizullah Abbasi. Thank you, sir. And Dr. Faizullah Abbasi, you may please be seated. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we would also like to thank, at this point, our members who have helped organize this event today, Dr. Riaz Sheikh, Dean and HOD of Social Sciences, Dr. Imran Amin, and Dr. Faraz Junejo. For their presence this morning, we truly appreciate you attending our event. Thank you. And a special thanks to Ms. Shaila Najib for helping us organize this event. Thank you very much. So before we proceed ahead for the tea break, we would like to inform the audience about the day's program. From 12 till 2, we have 3 parallel sessions of corporate tracks. The first one on issues and challenges in regulating corporate, economic, and environmental sustainability in Pakistan, which will take place in the 007 Hall. The second one is on the role of public-private sectors to nourish entrepreneurial ecosystem and their challenges in Pakistan, which will take place in the Aquarius Hall. The third session, which is on financial regulations in financial markets and institutions, will take place in the Tulip Hall. These sessions will be followed by lunch at 2. And thereafter, we will have 5 further sessions. The first one being on marketing in the Aquarius Hall. The second one on finance and economics in the 007 Hall, room 2. The third session on human resource management, which will be held in the Tulip Hall. Session number 4 on management and organizational behavior in the Sunflower Hall. Session 5 on entrepreneurship and operations management in the Tuberose Hall. These sessions will begin at 2:30 and will continue till 5:30, and they will be followed by the evening tea. Ladies and gentlemen, with this we hope that today's conference will give every individual a chance to enhance their understanding and learn about different contemporary issues and practices in Pakistan's business environment. This marks the end of our opening ceremony, and we hope the sessions will prove beneficial to you all. With that, good luck to all the delegates for their presentations, and thank you everyone for helping in making the first NRCMB possible.